All right, y'all. So here is the $1,000,000 fitness question. The one I get the more than any other question is, should we do cardio or weights? And I'm going to give you the straight up real answer. And it's going to vary a little bit, but for the most part, this is the real answer. If you want the real answer, this is the real answer. You have to ask yourself first off, is what's your real goal? So here's the real answer. Should you do cardio and weights? Yes, you should do cardio and weights. If you had to prioritize one over the other, weights will give you the biggest bang of your buck if you're doing them properly. If you're not doing them properly, then it won't even matter at all. But here is the truth, is that what we need to do is we need to look at exercise as a supplement nowadays. If you look back in the world of our life, and this is Charlotte. Can you say hi, everybody? Say hi to everybody. Say hi, Charlotte. Hi. Hello. Hola. Is it hola? Is this your first live? No, it's not your first live. So here's the reality, is that human existence, we've been physically active. We've been more active than ever before in history. History right now, we're very inactive people. So exercise has to look at it more as a supplement to your life. You have to look at it as a supplement to inactivity of just the natural of our life, right? I'm sitting here doing a live, which 100 years ago, this is not an opportunity. I would have been out on the farms or doing something with work, right? So exercise needs to be a supplement. So number one, if you're going to supplement, you have to supplement something that you're willing to keep doing. So the first form of exercise that you should consider is something that you're continue doing. I'm going to get to the difference between cardio and weights in a second. But if you don't keep doing it, then it's never going to matter, right? It doesn't matter if weights are better than cardio if you don't keep doing it. So I get this all the time where I work with a lot of high-level professionals, and they're very biased towards weight training. I am too. I'm not a cardio guy. I'm a weight guy. Because from a neuromuscular, from a muscle mass, there's a lot of evidence that supports weight training over cardiovascular health. But I will say this. I know people that are really, really healthy. People keep inviting to go live with me. Emily, I'm sorry. I'll do that next time. They'll say, you shouldn't cardio because it causes this and causes this. But there's a lot of positivity, emotional, psychological positivity to cardiovascular health. So I'm not against cardio at all. And if you love doing it and you're not overtraining and you're consistent and you're constantly doing it, then you should continue to do cardio exercise. Meaning cardio exercise means go for long bike rides for more than 30 minutes. I look at cardio exercise where you train continuous motion for more than 20, 30, 40 minutes, up to hours. That's cardiovascular based exercise, meaning that your heart rate stays kind of lower to mid, below 50 or below 60% of its max for a long period of time. So a long brisk walk, things like that can be cardiovascular for some people, or a light jog or biking or rowing. The hiking can be a cardiovascular exercise, can be very valuable. But the most important thing is that if it helps you relax, makes you feel good, gets you outside and keeps your body moving, that's a huge win. What happens is when we say weights are more important and you now don't like weights and you do less cardio, you're now doing nothing. That's the worst thing to do. So what we know for a fact is no activity is worse than any activity. That's what we know for sure. So why do they say weights are better than cardio? And I'm going to give you a recipe that you can do if you really want to get longevity and health and vitality. I'm going to give you a recipe for success. I know. There's another light there and there's another light there. Can we talk about exercise now? You good? Okay, good. So she just woke up from her nap. So here's the deal, is that because we are lacking strength today, and because muscle mass declines as we get older, after the age of 25, 30, we start losing muscle mass. Running is not going to put on a lot of muscle mass. It's going to help a little bit with bone density, but it's not going to put strength. It's not going to put muscle mass. When you get older, the first thing you don't want to lose is your mindset. So you should be drinking ketones. If you're not drinking ketones, you're doing one thing wrong. Drink your ketones. But you don't want to lose your mind, but more importantly, you don't want to lose your muscle mass, or not more importantly, also importantly, you don't want to lose your muscle mass. As you get older, if you're not lifting heavy objects, you're more prone to muscle loss, right? Right? This is a big problem, a big problem. And it's only getting worse, by the way. And so if you're a grandparent or if you're a parent, right, we need to show our kids more it's easier to become more inactive today than ever before in history, right? So we have to supplement it. So you're not just doing this for you, you're doing it for your kids. You're showing them that they need to redo resistance training. That's why resistance training actually, in some ways, is going to win over cardiovascular exercise. And the biggest reason is because you're losing muscle mass exponentially over time. Now, ketones protect muscle loss. That's good. You should use ketones as a way to protect it, but we should also be building it up. So this is the recipe I give everybody. If you want to maximize your health and vitality and you're prioritizing, I'm not going to tell people not to do cardio. I'm going to say, if you love running and biking, go do it. But supplement physical exertion, exercise, or weight training. Supplement it. And here's the rule with weight training. And ladies, you have the biggest challenge with this. You need to lift weights that are heavy like they are actually physically hard for you. Meaning, if you can lift more than 8 or 10 reps, the weight is actually too light. Does that make sense? You need to lift a weight that you can physically feel that's exhausting. I'm going to tell you a short story, and then I'm going to wrap this thing up. Here's the story. I was in Southern California, where there's a lot of really fancy trainers. A really fancy trainer charging a lot of money. I'm watching him train his client. She's literally lifting 10-pound dumbbells in like a chest press on each hand. That's 20 pounds. I watch her go to the store, and she's in her shopping cart taking a big case of water, like not a case, but a big thing of water out of her shopping cart, bending over, picking it up, and putting it in the trunk of her car. And I'm sitting there thinking, the hardest workout she had today was getting the water out of her cart into her car than it was at the gym. That's a trainer's failure, mistake. The trainer should have should teach her how to lift heavy weights in a gym where it's a controlled environment, so that she can lift that water for her whole life. Does that make sense? So weights, and this is what I'm encouraging everybody to do. Twice a week, you should be lifting heavy weights, heavy resistance. Now, this is going to be conflicting if you're a fitness trainer out there, if you're a CrossFitter out there. A lot of people right now are saying you should go, what kind of weights should you do? You should go and do, CrossFit. You should go do these functional movements. That's bullshit. That is absolutely false, absolutely wrong. And this is the reason why. If you're not working with a very specialized trainer that understands mechanics, understands neuromuscular system, understands your joint dysfunctions, typically those functional workouts are actually going to cause you more harm. The weights that most people should be doing, especially if you're not hiring a high-level personal trainer, if you are, then I'm okay with you being a little bit more risky, is you should be doing weights from a resistant machine, because we can control that environment, right? You're less likely to hurt yourself on that machine than you are lifting dumbbells over your head. I know people are commenting over here. Y'all, I get excited about this. I'm trying to, I haven't done this talk in a while. Chanel on here, who's a CrossFitter out of Austria, just commented on one of my posts. She's probably gonna get mad at me. But I love CrossFit. I love functional movement. I've also been doing physical exercise my entire life. I get it. I can manipulate my body. But in my mom right now, I don't want her doing that. I want her to go to curves for women and lifting heavy weight on a machine that dictates her motion. And she can modify the machine to make it comfortable, but she's safer. She's less likely to hurt herself. And guess what? We can increase her resistance, so her neuromuscular system responds to it. It's a safer place to start. And I think that's really, really, really important. Now, if you're confident in doing push-ups and burpees and all this other stuff, well, great, do those. Practice those, but don't practice those with heavy loads and heavy resistance. So the recipe is this. Twice a week, you should be lifting heavy objects that challenges your body system that you should not be able to lift more than 8 or 10 reps of. I would even challenge less than that, but you gotta work up to that. That is the key, because that's going to help it's going to help grow your muscles, help you from losing muscles, help you with muscle development. It's super important. Gary's on there. I was just knocking CrossFit a little bit, Gary, but Gary's a stud. He's a CrossFitter. He learned his body. And if you worked with Gary, you could probably do what he's doing, but most people don't have amazing people like Gary to work with, right? So that's why I love machines. I am a huge fan of machines. And I'll take it to the bank, and I'll neuromuscularly, you look at it from a mechanics perspective, it is a safer place for most people to train from. And I'd rather do that with most people. About 20% of people can actually train CrossFit, train dynamic movements, functional movements, unless you're working with a high-level trainer or professional. Now, should you stop doing cardio? No. Should you do cardio before weight training? Most likely not. You should focus primarily on weight training, before cardio, because weight training has a different dynamic neuromuscular nervous system response, especially if you're lifting heavier weights. Ladies, if you're lifting, and I'm not just saying ladies, anybody, men, women, if you're lifting a weight that you can do 15, 20 times, and I go, if I put a gun to your head, that's what I used to say to my clients. If I put a gun to your head, how many more could you do? 100? The weight's not heavy enough, y'all. It's too freaking easy, and it's not going to help you maintain that muscle mass and gain that strength. Now, if you're brand new and you're just learning how to do the movement, then good, start light. But then know in the future, you got to work up to heavier motion or heavier weight to gain that neurological response that's going to help you stimulate muscle growth. That's going to help you stimulate strength. Because when you're 90 years old or 80 years old or 70 years old and you fall and slip, are you strong enough to get up, right? Are you strong enough to get the case of water out of the back of the car and not hurt yourself? Are you strong enough today? Are you strong enough in 10 years from now? What's going to stop you from getting that strong? What's going to stop you from getting that level? And it's inactivity that's going to get you there. And unfortunately, running is not going to get you there. But if you love to run, do it. If you love cardiovascular exercise, do it. Truth is I need a hip replacement. I need a couple knee replacements. I'm pretty jacked up. So leg training for me doesn't work so well. I use a variety of cardiovascular equipment to basically take joint stress off my body, but yet to still work my leg muscles. And I just do it as much as I can to maintain it while I'm waiting for my surgeries. Once my surgeries are done, I'll go back to better weight training for that. And it wasn't weight training that caused my injuries, by the way. It was me being dumb. So what's more important? I will prioritize weight training more important. But the most important thing is this, is you got to stay active. You got to do things you love to do. If you love to dance to Richard Simmons, dance to Richard Simmons. If you love to weight train more. If you love to run, go run. Find things that you're willing to do long term. If you love to swim, I just talked to Ruth Yancey. She loves swimming. So she's swimming 4 or 5 times a week. Awesome. But guess what? She supplements with weight training. Yes, she was a client of mine, so she understands it. She supplements weight training. It's not her favorite thing to do, but weight training allows her to swim better, and swimming is what she likes to do. You got done. New knee is awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for my new knees. I'm getting hip first and then knees later. So, y'all, I need to get out of here. Take care of this little one. Isn't that right, Charlotte? Papa's hat. And so she's plugging in my phone or plugging in my earbuds. But here's the deal, you guys. If it's not fun, it's not sustainable. That's truly right, Gary. If your work is, you have to work towards a goal that is fun for you, right? And so stay active. Supplement. Exercise is a supplement nowadays. It's not something that we just naturally do. And so if you're not supplementing activity, you need to be. And if you can find a way to weight train, get doing it. But be safe. If you can't keep doing it because you're injuring yourself, then that's not good. I think everybody should hire trainers. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of great trainers out there. And I'll say that to the trainer's face, because most trainers don't understand neuromuscular function and understand mechanics that well, because they're not trained that way. They're trained about how to do an exercise, and everybody's a little different. That's why I trust machines. And I would tell this to my clients: if you go to the gym and you're going to work out, do an exercise on a machine and do the ones that make you feel comfortable. Because if you're comfortable, you're willing to do more of that, and then over time you can deviate it, and then still hire a trainer to help learn maybe other exercises that you can do. But be picky about who you talk to as a trainer. Be picky about your trainers that you hire, because unfortunately a lot of them just don't have the knowledge that they need to have, and it's just the way the world is. So y'all stay active, keep moving. And once again, if you're not drinking ketones before exercise, and for your brain and for your muscles, you should be. So, and if you want to learn how to get those, get back to whoever invited you to follow me, because most likely they're drinking ketones, or hit me up. I'll make sure we get you taken care of, or I'll get you back to whoever invited you. But any questions? I got about 3 minutes before my next Zoom. I'm working on it. Somebody says I'm working on it. Robin, Nicole, how are you? Any questions before I hop off? Back off. This lady had a knee replacement. That's awesome. Awesome. Any questions at all for me? Help you maintain your bone density. Yes, bone density is super important. Muscle mass is super important. I'm just always really cautious, because right now, what if you have rheumatoid arthritis? I hear my wife is calling me. I know, April, mama's calling me. So somebody said, what if you have some joint? I have joint problems. A lot of it. Part of the reason we'll have joint problems is because they weren't physically utilizing all their joint mobility the right way. The other reason, if you have joint challenges like I do, It's very nutritional based, very inflammatory based. So I follow, I drink ketones daily, number one. Number two is I follow an autoimmune paleo diet.
Mama,
So,
hi,
Mama's saying hi. You got to go probably right now, huh?
No, I need to take a shower.
Okay, go take a shower.
I need to know what time Sunday.
You guys just hold on a second here. Game starts at 10. We're going to barbecue between 10 and 12, around 12 o'clock. Okay. But here's the reality. I follow an a paleo autoimmune diet is what I follow. I have Hashimoto's, so I follow a paleo autoimmune diet. What does that mean? Is that I can't eat fish either because I'm allergic. So I eat protein, low carb vegetables. All the vegetables I consume are very low in lectins, so I don't eat any nightshade vegetables. I do eat fruit now. I used to not eat fruit because I had to be keto at the same time, because now I can drink ketones. I do eat fruit. I don't eat a ton of fruit. I probably have at least one serving of fruit a day, and that can be varied from an apple. It can be varied from berries. If I'm trying, I might lean towards berries more. As I'm working hard, I will have sweet potatoes from time to time. I'm not a huge sweet potato fan. I just don't like how they taste, to be honest. I will eat them because every once in a while I just want a variety, because I am very limited on what I can eat. So I follow a very strict low carb diet. I make most of my own salad dressing. This is extreme, but if you're dealing with joint challenges like I am, it works. It works really, really, really well. So nightshade vegetables. I don't eat dairy. I don't eat eggs. I'm kind of freaking people out now. I don't eat dairy. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat soy. I don't eat wheat. I eat protein, very low carb vegetables, a lot of green leafy vegetables, and I do eat a little bit of fruit, and I don't eat any nightshade vegetables at all. I'm anaphylactic allergic to shellfish, all freshwater and saltwater fish. I just can't have those. I would eat a lot of those, and I do implement wild game. I'm actually working on a new location close by. What's up? I know, I know, right, Ethan? I just don't like sweet potatoes. I'm working on trying to find a way to make them taste better, and I'll eat them, but they're just not my favorite. But I don't eat potatoes or anything like that. I'm working on finding better local organ meats so I can eat more organ meats, tongue and brain and livers and gizzards and hearts and kidneys and stuff like that. I know that's kind of gross, but that's a way for me to get a variety of types of foods, and then get wild foods like elk and rabbit and squirrel and things like that, and things that you wouldn't normally eat. So I do eat like that. That's kind of my world, but it helps with my joints. I am very prone to having more autoimmune conditions. So I love to work out. If my joints don't work, I just got organ pills. Hey, Ethan, send me a recipe. My wife literally took her placenta and made it into pills and took those after birth. I know that's it's supposed to help with hormones and stuff. We don't think it made a difference, but it's supposed to. She did it anyway. But anyway, you guys, it's time to move your body. Move. Do things you love to do. That's the first thing. If you're not doing something you love to do, you won't keep doing it. Find a tribe to do it with, but supplement with exercise, physical weight training. And if you're new to that, don't go, give yourself a year to figure it out. So start light, start easy, get used to the motion, and then slowly add the resistance up. And if I can put a gun to your head and you can do more than 10 reps, then it's probably a little light. You got to make it harder, because and as long as you're safe in the movement, you're then preparing your body the right way, y'all. So I got to go. Cheers. I'm just reading some questions. I grew up on liver, brain, gizzards. Dorothy, that's pretty amazing. That's really amazing. She grew up on a lot of the good stuff. All right, guys, I gotta go. Hi, TikTok. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. TikTok, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you. I'm gonna be doing more lives on TikTok. I'm just getting warmed up over there. Bye, Facebook. Bye, Instagram. Cheers, y'all.